Hello. How are you today? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Today, we are going to talk about 9 lead generation follow up best practices. Are you ready to dig in? I know I am, and I know this is a subject that you will love. So, before we go any further, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Lisa Balthaser. I am a business coach and consultant, and I work with coaches, course creators, and online service based entrepreneurs and business owners to help them grow and scale their business online, implement winning systems and processes that attract more clients, and create a repeatable revenue model so that they can experience ease and flow in their business. So today we are going to talk a little bit about some ease and flow that you can get going in your business. So let me. It did not save what I saved. Okay, so today we are talking about 9 lead generation best practices. Okay, so before we go any further, what I want to do is I want to define what a lead is, okay? Because there is a common misconception and as to what a lead is. And I want you guys to be really clear on what a lead is, okay? So, okay, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. I saved something in here and it did not save, so I am back to square one on that. So, today we're going to talk about 9 lead generation follow-up best practices. But before we go any further, I wanted to start by defining what a lead is. And when you look up lead in the dictionary, there are several definitions that do pop up. And I want to talk a little bit about those today. So the first one is a company or individual that has the potential to become a paying customer. So that would mean, guys, that anybody that has the potential to be your customer, so they fit a certain criteria that you're looking for. Anybody that fits that criteria is a potential lead. Okay. Number 2 definition is prospects at their earliest stages. So, what does that mean? So, when we encounter someone, whether it's online or in person, there's a couple processes that take place versus the initial. The acknowledgement and the knowing of your existence, the awareness, okay? And then they move into getting familiar with you, know, like, and trust, and all of those things. So prospects at the beginning stages, they're just maybe becoming aware of you, or maybe you are becoming aware of them, okay? So it's at the beginning of your relationship with them, okay? And the third definition is people who have expressed interest in your goods or services by performing some kind of action. So say they clicked a link, they filled out a form. So, and that's where things like Facebook pixels and Google pixels come in. Because when people click a link, when people come to your website, that's the data that those things are picking up, and those are all potential leads. Okay, so, and if they fill out a form, if they download your ebook or whatever it is that you put out to the world, that means they're interested in what you share with the world. Okay, so they are all leads. Okay, so let's talk about best practices. So there are 9 of them, and I am going to breeze through some of them because some of them are kind of self-explanatory, but we're going to go through them um, one by one, so that you can understand exactly what you should be doing when you get that lead. So whether it's you become aware of them because they downloaded something, or maybe you become aware of them because they were picked up, you had a conversation with them at a networking event, or it could be any ways. So say they down okay, for the sake of this exercise, we're going to talk about a lead. So it's somebody that downloaded your thing, clicked a link, filled out a form, or whatever else you asked them to do online. So for today, we're going to talk about that type of lead. Okay. So the first best practice is to segment your leads. So you may ask, how can you do that? So when you are attracting clients online, you're doing it a variety of ways. One of those ways is you're creating lead magnets. Okay. And the lead magnet is really dealing with one specific thing that solves one specific problem for a specific client. Okay. So you can have multiple lead magnets that speak to different audiences. Okay. So say you help dentists and you also help doctors, and you may want to tailor those lead magnets for each of those categories, but you want to segment them because you want to be saying the right things to them. So using your lead magnet and providing a lead magnet specifically for that audience will allow you to segment them and speak to them in a specific way. Okay. So that's number one, segment your leads. So you should know where they're coming from so that you know how to follow up with them. Okay. So the second best practice is to follow up within 12 to 24 hours. So if your lead is coming from a lead magnet, more than likely they are receiving an email right away. So you have fast action there. So fast action really gets the sale. Okay. So when you reply right away, they expect it right away. If you do not reply right away to a lead, they're going to still be looking for someone else to provide the value that they're asking you to provide. Okay. So fast follow up is super important. If the lead comes from somewhere that is not, say, a lead magnet, say you met them at a networking event or an online event, or they were referred to you, responding quickly is super important within 12 to 24 hours. And those are the ones that usually get the sale. Okay. Fast follow up is key, because if not, they're just keeping on searching and they're going to find somebody else out there. Okay. So you want to be the one. You want to get to them before anybody else does. So that's number 2. Number 3 is personalization. And this is going to be, again, based on your segment that we talked about. So number 1 was segmenting your leads. So when you segment your leads, you're going to be able to personalize the experience for that particular ideal client avatar. And, your email should, any emails that you send out should have their names in, should use their name, should be very warm, friendly, and conversational, so that they can get to know you. And they should also provide value. Okay. And that brings us to number 4. Number 4, the fourth best practice is to nurture those leads. Remember, leads don't always know you, and most of the time they don't. Sometimes they do, but usually a lead is cold at first, and you have to warm them up. When you nurture the leads through your email, through different kinds of connections. So say you have a connection that you were connected to on a networking event. You connect with them on social media. So in order to nurture that lead, you want to make sure that you are paying attention to what they're doing online, responding to it, commenting on it, and really getting to know them. Okay. All of those things lead to know, like, and trust. And nurturing them means you're going to provide value along the way, valuable, relevant content. You're going to educate them, you're going to inform them, and you're going to add value wherever you can in their world, whether it be through a follow up email sequence or interactions online or follow up phone calls, however you are following up with them. I highly suggest you use different forms of follow up, and we'll get to that in a moment. So, like I said, nurturing them further warms them up. When they first learn about you, generally they don't know anything about you. So you need to open up. You need to provide value. You need to let them know that you are the one that they want to work with. And you do that by providing value. Okay? So number 5, and this one I just alluded to a moment ago. Number 5 is your follow-up method. How are you following up with them? Okay, my suggestion is that you use all 3 of the following: social media, phone, and email. And here's why. Because a lead needs to get to know you. And in order to get to know you, they need to constantly see your content and see your value to them. Okay. And you can do that very easily using social media. So, my suggestion is you interact with them on social media. That is one way to follow up. And plus, you're going to inbox them, especially if you see them posting something that you know you can help with. You want to make sure that they know that you can help with that thing. Okay. The other thing is a follow up phone call, or these days, sometimes it's a Zoom call. So, what you want to do is you want to get on the call or get on a Zoom with them, have a conversation, and get to know them. Now, you're not going to try to sell them unless it is exactly the right time to sell them. Okay. The idea of the nurturing and the follow up is to get them ready to buy without you really having to ask. So, when you are having the conversation with them, you're uncovering their needs. You're finding out how you can help them, and you're providing value and letting them know that these are things that you can absolutely help them get results with. Okay. So when all of those things happen and they get to know you and they like you and they trust you, which comes with time, okay, a no-brainer is working with you. Okay. After all that, they will want to work with you because you'll be the right person. They've already been warmed up. And along with those 2 social interactions, meaning the phone or Zoom and social media, you want to reinforce everything that is happening with follow up emails. So maybe you want to do a check in and see how everything is working, or if they downloaded something from you, you want to follow up and say, hey, I see you downloaded my ebook on this. Which, if there's different options in there, say which option did you like the best, or which option worked for you, or what was your favorite takeaway from it. Try to get some feedback and data, because that data helps you in the end. And it also lets them know that you care because you're reaching out to them personally. Okay. So that's number 5 is follow up methods. Number 6 is you want to create a follow up system and schedule. Okay. So, guys, if you don't know this, and I think I've mentioned this before, I am a Keep certified partner, but that doesn't mean I can only help you with Keep. Okay. Automation is automation. Okay. However, there's some that have a lot more bells and whistles and capabilities than other software. And Keep is one of those softwares that has a lot of capabilities. Okay. So I want to talk about some of those things today. Okay. And you may or may not have software that does all of this, but I want you to think about these things. Okay. You want to create a weekly, monthly, and quarterly follow up. Okay. So that can be done with an email sequence, which most email providers provide. You can also do that by setting alerts and task management that can be done in the Keep app. And in the Keep app, also, there's something called pipelines. So when you have a lead that comes into your inbox a certain way, you can put it into a pipeline, plug it in, and then move it through the pipeline in a certain way. So all of those things are capabilities with Keep, but you don't need all of those things to be able to do everything effectively. You just have to have a good follow-up system and schedule, and you want to stick to it. My apologies, guys. So you want to have a good follow-up system, schedule, and you want to stick to it. So that's number 6. Okay. Number 7 is, when you are doing this, you want to track this in a CRM. You want to make notes. You want to keep yourself up to date. Okay. And again, all of this can be done in Keep. You may or may not have a software with that capability, but you want to be able to make notes. You want to, remind yourself of conversations that you've had, of different things that, on the progression of where you are. So you want to track it, and you want to make sure you're tracking it well, so you know exactly where you are in the process, what you've said to them, what you didn't say to them, and what needs to be said to move them forward. Okay. So tracking is super, super important. Okay. Number 8 is, you need to qualify them. So just because somebody downloads a lead magnet, okay, say they download your ebook, it doesn't mean that they are necessarily your ideal client. Okay. It means that they're interested in what it is, in the services that you provide. Absolutely, yes. But there are other factors that come into play, such as budgets, such as, are they the decision maker? There's a variety of reasons why people would, come into your circle of influence, and you would recognize them as a lead. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they're your ideal client. Okay, because they're not qualified until you go through some kind of qualification process. So in your nurturing, in your following up, you want to make sure that you have a specific questions. You want to collect specific data from them. You want to make sure that you're hitting on certain key factors that let you know whether they are qualified lead or not, because that's going to make all the difference in the world as to whether you will close the sale or not. Okay. Because if you're talking, okay, so if somebody downloads your ebook, for instance, and they meet all the criteria that you think they need in order to be a good client for you, but they don't have the budget to afford your services, they're not qualified. Okay. Because part of the qualification is being able to afford it. Part of the qualification is, are they the decision maker? Part of the qualification is, are they ready? Okay. All of those things need to be uncovered in the follow up. Okay. Because those are the things they're going to let you know whether you should or can sell to them. Okay. And number 9, I have here, have a strategy for your follow up and stick to it. So often I see entrepreneurs and small business owners, and I know y'all got a lot on your plate. It's a given. You have a lot on your plate. But when you put a good system together, okay, that you can follow, or some of it might be automated, some not automated, whether it's automated or not is irrelevant. You need to have a strategy that works and that you will execute every single time. So if you need to automate some of it, as I do automate some of mine, then that's what you need to do. If you can't keep up with everything, and if you're a solopreneur, more than likely you can't. So automation is your best friend in this case, because every time they get an email from you, that's another touch. Okay. And you all have heard, can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Gary Vee, but I am not sure. And he said up to 30 touches Guys, if you're not sending an email, that's a lot of physical work that you have to do if you're not sending an email out. So, like I said, all three, email, social media, and phone, should all be part of your follow-up process somehow, some way. Okay. But the most important thing is to have a good strategy and stick with that strategy each and every time. Okay. Because when you do that, you will know what is working and what's not. So if your strategy isn't working and you need to change it, you will know. Okay. But if you're doing something different every single time, you're not going to know what's working and what's not working. So stick with your strategy and make sure it's followed every single time. And if it needs to be tweaked at that point, then tweak it. Okay. And then keep tweaking it until it is working for you. That's how you get a good strategy in place. Okay. It may not work the first time. Listen, this is marketing. Lead generation follow up is still marketing. Okay. You are not yet in the sales conversation. Okay. So you are still marketing yourself. You are still helping them become aware of you and get to know you and get to like you and get to trust you. That is all marketing. Okay. Marketing is all about testing. Marketing is all about testing, and testing is something that needs to be done in order to execute a good strategy. Okay. So that is what I have for you guys today. I want you guys to, I have a link here that I'm going to put up here. I have an automation funnel that I have created just for you to get your lead generation in place. Okay. I will help you create that funnel and we will work on that together. I will be with you for 3 months. We will make sure it works. Go into this link. It's linked up, it's my Linktree link, Lisa Balthaser. And I have 2 pay options in there. One is 3 payments. So you have 3 payments. That's the amount of time I'm with you. Or you can pay in full and save $50. Okay. But if you don't have this in place, let me tell you guys, this is so worthwhile. This will change your life and it'll start getting some sales coming in the door. Okay. So that is what I have for you guys today. I appreciate you guys hanging in there. Share this out. If there is somebody you know that needs this, and I know many people do, share this out, tag them, let them know that I can help them, because this is so important. And like I said, it can change your life and your business. So that is what I have for you guys today. This is Lisa Balthaser with Fleur de Lisa Solutions. You have an awesome day.